Jars scream silent, they don't know. Numbers hum where the cold winds blow. Trade winds
Schlossberg, Managing Director at BK Asset Management.
BK Asset Management's Kathy Lean.
Boris Schlossberg, Managing Director at BK Asset Management.
BK Asset Management's Kathy Lean.
Hey, good morning, everyone, or hello, good evening, depending upon what corner of the world you are. Welcome to our Monday live stream where we talk about everything that is important to watch for the markets this week. Good morning, Andrew. Good morning, Ben, Christopher, them, Fred. I am so glad to have all of you here today. There's a lot to talk about. This is another very, very big and busy trading week. Good morning, Tony and Cheryl. If you are brand new to our live Market Monday Outlook, let's say new, so I can make sure that I pay closer attention to your questions and make sure I answer them, because I want to always give a little bit of love to our new members and get started with that. Good morning, Gloria. Good morning, Peter. Good morning, Bob. There is definitely a lot to talk about. Like, stocks are ripping higher today. Gold is at a fresh record high. We're going to be talking about all that. But before I begin, I always like to get a sense of what you're trading, so that we can also make sure, aside from giving love to our newcomers, we make sure we cover all of the instruments that all of you are trading, watching. So let me know. Let me know what you're watching. Okay, we have NASDAQ traders here. Now, just so you know, usually what we typically do is I, kind of set you all up for the week, and then Boris comes in, and this is like a combo session where we have market set up and we get your playbook for the week along with live trading. So there will be gold, NASDAQ, maybe even ES live trading later. So definitely look out for that. All right. Sounds good. Wonderful. We've got a good number of traders here. Not many who are actually trading Forex, but that's okay, because that's really not what the big story is today. Now, in terms of the market movements, I'm going to share my screen with you. Actually, you know what? We'll look at gold in just a minute. I want to make sure that we have a little bit more people come in. And I want to ask you, and if you've joined me before, you'll know that I like to have this as an interactive session. So what do you think is the number one focus of the market this week? Take a wild guess. What is your number one focus of the market? Let me know what you think is the top driver of market flows. Gold, NASDAQ, FX, dollar. What do you think is moving the markets this morning? Come on, I know, many of you. Government shutdown. Andrew says government shutdown. And Peter says government shutdown. Yes. So the government shutdown is the number one focus of the markets. And it's also the number one reason that gold prices are up. What is it now? 1.5% this morning. So it's the biggest story. Now, it's a big story for a few reasons. I'm going to show you some charts on how it impacts the markets in just a little bit. But the reason why the government shutdown is so important for us as traders is because this is kind of selfish, because there's a lot of people who'll be negatively impacted by it. But the reason why it's important for us as traders is because it's going to delay non-farm payrolls on Friday. I know that many of us are very excited about trading non-farm payrolls on Friday. I am as well. But if we get a multi-day government shutdown, one of the most important things for us as traders to realize, to recognize, to remember, to know is that there will be no jobs report on Friday if we have a U.S. government shutdown. So we won't be trading it, and it'll be delayed to some other day in the future that we may not know. So selfishly as traders, that is going to be one of the most important impact for you to realize. So definitely make sure that you realize that and keep an eye on it. Now, the deadline is tomorrow night, September the 30th. If a deal is not reached between the Democrats and Republicans by September 30th, then we are going to have the U.S. government shut down. This has happened before. This is a very interesting question to ask because Goriala wants to ask, has the U.S. government ever been shut down? How many of you have not traded during a U.S. government shutdown before? How many of you have not traded? This is your first potential government shutdown. Say yes, no. Last time, yes, was in the first Trump administration. Jay is not. Hold on. Okay, so many of you, and this is not a surprise because I know that I've asked this question when we've live traded before, where many of you have only begun to trade after the pandemic, or have only started trading trading after the first Trump term. So this is not a surprise at all. So yes, 100%. This has happened before. And we're going to look at charts as to how it has impacted, how a U.S. government shutdown has impacted the markets of the last time it happened, because this is really how you prepare. Now, history doesn't always repeat itself, but that's our most reliable guide. So the last time the U.S. government was officially shut down was in December of 2018, December 22, 2018. And it lasted for 35 days to January 25th. So yes, there was a non-farm payrolls report that was expected in January, and that was delayed as well. And so let's go ahead and let's take a look at the charts. Hold on one second. I'm going to share with you my screen. And we are going to look at the charts about how the markets were impacted. So give me 1 second. Share screen. Okay. So now you should be seeing my trading screen with the NASDAQ up here. Now there are two periods that we're going to look at. The first period is the 2018 government shutdown. And then the last near miss a year ago, the 2024 September near miss of a government shutdown. Now, the U.S. government, the Democrats and Republicans in September 2024 reached a deal a few days before the government shutdown. Now we're 24 hours or 36 hours before the government shutdown, and yes, Trump is meeting with Democratic and Republican leaders today, but it seems like both sides see the value of a shutdown, and as a result, there's a very low chance that a shutdown will be avoided. So it's more likely that we're going to see scenario number one than we're going to see scenario number two. So that is very, very important to remember. But let's take a look. Going into the possibility of a government shutdown, we see a couple of things. Number one, stock futures are up, which is kind of a little confusing because a government shutdown is usually negative for stocks. But I think a lot of traders are looking at this as something that's probably going to be short-lived. And then number two, gold prices are at a fresh record high. It's up 1.4% today. U.S. bond yields are lower, and the U.S. dollar is lower across the board. And so Christopher brings up a good point. I remember Trump ordered a lot of fast food for a sports team meeting because the government shut down and the White House kitchen was closed. I mean, that you've got to figure out, alternatives, right? And, those are some of the things that did some of the more interesting things that happened. So we are going to examine how the gold prices, the U.S. NASDAQ, as well as the dollar traded when we had the near miss last year and the 2018 government shutdown. And as I was just saying, is that it is a much greater chance that this is going to be scenario number one, more like the 2018 government shutdown than the 2024 near miss. So, obviously, we're going to look at 2024 first because that's the closest. So 1 year ago, September 2024 was when we had the near miss. And let's just get, this is a 1 hour chart. So let's go over to September 2024, which is right here. And the U.S. government, pretty much like a clock, was set to shut down on the 30th of September. And going into, where's my arrow? Going into the possibility of a government shutdown, NASDAQ dropped. And then once the shutdown was avoided, NASDAQ popped, and then whatever trend that was happening before continued. So in 2024, the stock market did rally in relief when a government shutdown was avoided. But the overall trend, it moved on afterwards. It moved on quickly to whatever was driving the markets at the time. Now, in December of 2018, which is when we had the last government shutdown, thankfully our charts do go that far back. Here we go. It was December 2018. Right here. This is the NASDAQ that we're looking at. So December 2018, the government shutdown was December 22nd, which, markets were closed at the time, and it was closed because of the holiday. So this is the NASDAQ. This is December 18. Where is it? Sorry, December 22nd. December 22nd, this was the government shutdown this weekend right here. And the government reopened on January 25th. So this is when the shutdown ended, this day. So let's take a look at this. NASDAQ sold off going into the 2018 government shutdown. Once the shutdown was announced, we had additional push lower on the Monday afterwards. And then the markets, rebounded and moved on from the government shutdown. When the shutdown ended right here, this is when the shutdown ended. This is when the 2019 18-19 shutdown ended. Stocks continued a very strong uptrend that was pretty much relentless. So what does this tell us as traders? A couple things. First off, the most important thing is that the market really doesn't care. Yes, it's important. They're worried about it, but I think they believe that whatever problems that that the Democrats and Republicans have will be resolved quickly, and that it will be a very short-lived impact. It's very similar to when we have an announcement of war. When we have an announcement of war, yes, the market panics and there's like initial selling, but it moves on very quickly when we have geopolitical risk. And so a government shutdown is a very similar scenario, especially in stocks. However, what it does tell us is that the day that the government shutdown is announced, and this time around it's a market day. It's not a holiday. So the market is open on at midnight on September 30th, and certainly on Wednesday, October 1st. So if the government shut down, we're going to have a down day in stocks, and either it's knee jerk or extended or it continues. Expect that day to be some heavy selling before we get any type of recovery. So if that happens, I think it's just press the button to sell. But then don't expect it to last more than 24 hours. It could last more than 24 hours depending upon what the outcome is and how contention it is and what their next plans are, yada, yada. But at least the first 24 hours after the shutdown, it's a sell. And then when the shutdown is announced, it's also a very positive day. It's not a consolidated day. It tends to be a very positive day for the NASDAQ. So for those of you that are trading NASDAQ, this is your game plan. When we have the shutdown announcement. So if you have a shutdown announced, it's pretty much going to be sell NASDAQ. All right. Of course, if a shutdown's averted, it's going to be a very positive day. Whatever trend happened before is going to continue. And it's going to, we're going to see the consolidation in NASDAQ press to new highs. But if we don't get that and a shutdown is announced like many people anticipate, because both the Democrats and Republicans want it, it's going to be a very bearish day, especially at the onset. For those of you that are in Europe and Asia, where you're going to be awake at midnight, it's going to be a pretty easy down trade. And, we'll revisit that next week, but it's going to be a pretty easy trade to the downside. Now, let's look at gold. So gold is at a fresh record high today, and we're going to talk about some of the drivers of why gold is so strong. But near a government shutdown miss in September, let's see. So all this talk about government shutdown was driving gold prices higher throughout the month of August into the month of September, kind of like what we had right now. And then this was around the time that we had the shutdown avoided. And then gold pulled back because that driver was no longer there, but then continued upwards. So whatever, same story with NASDAQ, whatever was driving NASDAQ before resumed. So gold, if a shutdown is avoided, did pull back because a lot of the money that was going into the market because of the shutdown, it then, rebounded because of whatever was happening, like inflation fears, Fed rate cut, trajectory, geopolitical risk, all the reasons that was driving gold prices up before came back into the big story. So back in 2018, let's look at this. December 2018, remember, is when we had the US government shutdown. And of course, just like I said before, leading up to the government shutdown, gold was rallying. December 22nd is when we had the government shutdown, which is this day over here. This was sorry, that's not it. This was the Friday, the little red candle. Markets gapped, maybe it wasn't gapped. Markets opened very positively for gold that day. It was, it was a 1% move, but still, quite a big move in gold that day. And then a move that continued. The market was reopened, or the government was reopened on the 25th. And this was the day when the government shutdown ended. Gold still rallied, probably because the market was just generally risk on. But the point I want to make is that if we do have a government shutdown announced Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, the next day it should be very positive for gold. Gold will have a strong extension move. So my gold traders, gold is at a record high. What this game plan tells us is that if we do have a government shutdown, we're probably going to see an even newer high in gold. And I think that is going to be your game plan. Now let's take a look at the dollar index. The dollar index, September 2024, just like right now, dollar was falling going into and remained weak going into the potential government shutdown. Shutdown was avoided and the dollar rebounded strongly. Now, in 2018, so December 2018, here we are. Here we are. December 2018, the U.S. government was shut down somewhere around here. This was the Friday. This was the Monday. So the dollar was rallying beforehand. As we have a member comment here, Fed Powell reversal on rate cuts. But talking about the government shutdown specifically, this was the Monday after the government shutdown. So the Monday after the government shutdown, the dollar sold off. And then unlike some of the other markets that didn't necessarily continue, the dollar sell-off extended for another 2 weeks before we saw any type of stability. So the shutdown is important. It matters. It's going to have a knee-jerk impact on gold, NASDAQ, dollar. Hopefully, I've kind of helped you make sense of what to anticipate and how to position and how to be prepared if we do have a government shutdown. Now, of course, we don't. All the moves that we've seen today in gold as well as the dollar should reverse on Wednesday. But it's unlikely right now. So let me know if that makes sense to you. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you've been paying attention. Now, let me know if it makes sense. Everyone, so if it doesn't, give me a question mark and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Wonderful. So now, many people are saying that the non-farm payrolls report is going to be delayed if the U.S. government shuts down because the different agencies are going to be closed, and so they're not going to be able to publish the non-farm payrolls report. And so that is one of the most important things for us as traders. But I just did a little research. And I pulled this up, and it says, and based upon, going back in the data, it says the U.S. government was shut down between December 2018 to January 2019. During that shutdown, the Bureau of Labor Statistics still released the employment report on January 4th. And everything was released as expected. So I don't, this is obviously a different administration. This is definitely an administration that is challenging the labor market numbers. So perhaps if there's a reason to delay it, it'll use it as a reason to delay it. But in the past, even though it's still during Trump's term, the jobs report was released on the same day. So we'll have to see. We'll certainly know by Wednesday or Thursday if the jobs report is going to be delayed. But that is something that is going to impact us specifically as traders. So we'll have to see whether or not it's going to be released and whether or not we're going to have that opportunity to live trade the non-farm payrolls report on Friday. Speaking of live trading, how many of you are Americans and type in US if you're American, you live in the US, because we have a very, very cool event happening. Boris is going to load it up in Florida on October 21st. We are actually going to be trading live October 21st in Boca Raton, Florida. So if you are in the US and you're interested in joining me, Boris, also, Peter Tuchman, the Einstein of Wall Street, who trades from the New York Stock Exchange floor, and David Green, who retired at 30 from trading. Make sure you put your phone up to that QR code, or you can just go to daytradesummit.com and get all the details, because this is the first time ever we're trading live. And we're doing it in Florida on October 21st. So definitely join us if you can, if you're here in the US. All right. So we've got the US government shutdown. We talked extensively about the potential trades that you could have off the US government shutdown. The other big release or big event is the US jobs report. And the US jobs report is due on Friday. Taking a look at the U.S. jobs report on Friday, you can see that, where is this? The U.S. jobs report. The market is expecting a pretty tepid number, 51,000, which is pretty pathetic. 51,000 after a 22,000 increase. Let me zoom in on this. Now, we always do our non-farm payrolls prep in advance, but I mean, even if you get a little bump up to 1,000, it's going to be a really, really ugly number. So what do I want to say? I mean, it's going to be quite terrible. It could have a huge impact on the markets, especially since the last report wasn't great. The last report was basically a number that was incredibly weak. And so if we have another weak number and then watch out for the revisions, it's almost, I don't want to say it's the death of the dollar, but it could be the death of the dollar. It's going to be so exciting to trade. I really wish we'll have the opportunity to trade it on Friday if we don't have a U.S. government shutdown, but I think it's going to be really interesting. So anyway, the market's expecting a really, really weak jobs report. Last time the Fed met, they, were kind of wishy-washy. They, obviously said they're going to look for interest rates cuts in the next two meetings, but they weren't quite dovish enough. But if we get a weak non-farm payrolls report like this number, it's going to be so bad that they're going to have to do something. And so that is something that, I think is pretty exciting for all of us on Friday, if the U.S. to look forward to if the U.S. government's not shut down. But we have the U.S. non-farm payrolls report, and I think that's going to be weak, which is part of the reason why I am bearish dollars this week. We've got the U.S. non-farm payrolls report. We have ISM services. We have ISM manufacturing. We have all the leading indicators for non-farm payrolls like ADP, Challenger, jobless claims, whatnot. Either way, it looks like it's shaping up to be a weaker number, and I think it could end up being softer. So that's the main focus this week. The other main focus is the Reserve Bank of Australia. We have one central bank rate decision next week. And Andy, we are not going to be live streaming on Friday if we obviously don't have the jobs report. So if there's no, I'm assuming Jay means if there's no sales report, what might happen? I think you mean if there's no jobs report, what might happen? There could be some market uncertainty because the market's going, any sort of delay is, I think, going to lead to an excuse to sell dollars, buy gold. I mean, the dollar and the gold will already be moving the way that we laid out because the U.S. government is shut down. But it definitely would cause some additional concerns. As I said, if you're in the U.S., make sure you join us for the Boca Live Summit, daytradesummit.com. You can get all of the details. Day trading live, with Peter Tuchman from the New York Stock Exchange floor. He's been on the floor for 40 years. He's going to be sharing his I guess, all his wisdom with you. And David Green, former New York Stock Exchange market maker. So both of them trade on the New York Stock Exchange floor. So it's huge. I'm going to be there. Boris is going to be there. It's going to be a wonderful session starting right at 8 a.m. live trading the New York Open, and lots of great information here. So make sure you register for the event. So Reserve Bank of Australia rate decision. Now I want you guys to put yourselves into the shoes of the Reserve Bank of Australia. Do you think, based upon this table, what I like to do is I always like to put these tables together ahead of the central bank rate decision to kind of give you guys a chance to put yourselves in the shoes of the central bank. If you were the RBA head, would you cut interest rates at this meeting? Now, what we do know is the RBA, when they met at their last meeting in August, they basically told us that they could still cut interest rates. They are not committed to it, but they could still cut interest rates. So based upon this table, do you think the central bank is going to cut interest rates? They did cut interest rates in August by 25 basis points. So will they do it again this week? All right, let's see what your answers are. Another Moon says no. Call Me DJ says no. Andy says sure, they'll cut rates. Andrew says no. Chris says no. Most of you said no. Let's look at this. Let's pretend we're central bankers. Retail sales in Australia was weak. I mean, it's minus 0.3%. That's really, really ugly. No country wants to see a negative retail sales report. But consumer confidence seems to be up a little bit. And remember, the retail sales report is from July, not August. Labor market numbers were pretty terrible. I mean, full-time employment dropped 40,000. Overall employment dropped 5,000. These are really ugly numbers. No central banker wants to see jobs reports at these numbers. But inflation expectations, 4.7%. I mean, central banks want to see inflation around 2%. So 4.7% is way too high. And then the latest CPI monthly report that we had, 3%. That's terrible. It jumped from 1.9 to 3%. So inflation is definitely a burgeoning problem for the central bank. And then what else do we have? We have housing market numbers, not great. GDP numbers were not bad. GDP in Q2 was actually not bad, but leading indicators were kind of weak. Trade data was better. Manufacturing activity was better. Services composite was weaker. But Australia is actually one of the only countries out there that still have PMIs above 50. When you have a PMI above 50, it means that it's still expanding. It's expansionary, and so it means that it's still growing. So this is good news versus bad news, but it's not as good news as it could be, right? And then the market indexes, the Australian stock market, the 10-year bond yields are both up. So taking a look at this, it's a tough call, right? I think that the RBA is not going to cut interest rates. They just did it in August, and in fact, the whole market doesn't think that they're really going to cut interest rates. But even if they don't, all of this tells us that they should maintain a dovish outlook and then continue to warn us that rate cuts could be coming. So I am neutral, the Australian dollar. And if we look at Aussie, actually, let's not look at my zip chart. Let's look at the daily chart. We're going to look at the daily chart of Aussie. You can see that Aussie is bouncing up. And remember, I'm bearish dollars this week. So Aussie's bouncing up. We're probably not going to get an interest rate cut from RBA. And so once the RBA rate meeting passes and we know the certainty from the government shutdown, I think that, we're going to see more of a recovery in the Australian dollar. So that's two of the biggest events that we have this week, or three. We have the U.S. government shutdown deadline, we have the non-farm payrolls report, and then we also have the Reserve Bank of Australia rate decision. Now, from the Eurozone, we have quite a bit of data from Germany. We have German retail sales, Germany jobs report, German inflation, Eurozone inflation. And so inflation is a very important release for the Eurozone. Now, in terms of those reports, a lot of the data is expected to be weaker, except for maybe inflation, because the PMIs were weaker and the IFO report was weaker. So Euro is rallying because the dollar is slipping, but the ECB is almost at the end of its interest rate cut cycle, but data last week and possibly this week has been weak. So, we at BK had done a great job selling euros against the crosses last week, riding this move, also riding this, some of the moves in, I think it was, just the euro in general. But this week, I'm just going to be bearish it. Now, I'm bearish euros, I'm bearish dollars. What that means is that I'm going to be looking for more opportunities to trade the euro against the crosses. Maybe I'll be looking for a deeper pullback in euro yen. But I'm going to be watching, for those of you that trade with me at BK Numbers, I'm going to be watching our zip charts. If we remain in the zip sell zone, which is the background's red, we're below the indicator line, I'll be selling. A pair like euro dollar, it's in the green zone, so I'm not going to be selling until we get back down here. This is where I'm going to combine my fundamentals with my technicals. But we do have some important data from the Eurozone. We have Eurozone inflation data. We have Eurozone PMIs. Sterling. Now, in terms of the British pound, for the British pound, we have PMI revisions. We don't have much going on from the UK this week. We just have PMI revisions and GDP revisions. Data from the UK has been quite terrible. It's below most of the major moving averages, so there's more downside risk than upside risk. Dollar yen. Many of you are trading dollar yen. Dollar yen is above most of the major moving averages, pulling lower. I am bearish dollars. I'm going to be looking for opportunities to sell dollar yen. So we talked about that. We talked about dollar CAD, not much going on. I really like dollar CAD to the downside because dollar CAD has gotten quite overstretched. We had good GDP numbers last week. And so this is one that I think is really going to move lower if the dollar really tops out. So dollar CAD is definitely one of my favorite currencies to trade this week. And then we don't have much from New Zealand this week. So Kiwi's been pretty battered because of weaker data and the RBNZ's dovishness, but we don't have much going on in terms of the data. So, we'll have to see what's going on with that. Now, before I turn it over to Boris, I want to talk about gold and the reasons why gold is so strong. Gold has hit a record high. It looks like the next target is 4,000. I mean, there is no major resistance in gold until 4,000. So why is gold so strong? Here are the 6 reasons why gold is so strong. So if we want to think about will gold continue to hit a record high? The answer to that is really whether these 6 things will continue. So pop quiz, I want you guys to help me fill out. I mean, I obviously know what is going to be on this list. I want you all to help me fill up this list. What do you think are some of the reasons why gold is at record highs? Let me know. Why do you think gold is at a record high? All right. Number 1 from Akasha. Wonderful. U.S. government shutdown risk. Number 2, yes, U.S. yields are weak. You guys are so smart. I love you. Peter, global geopolitical risks, global uncertainty. Nico and another dollar. Sorry, Nico and another mutant. Dollar weakness. Yes, Fred, stagflation or inflation. And then we have one more, which you guys are so smart. Philip, China buying, which is reserve diversification. Now I'm going to, clean this up a bit. Fed cut cycle. Yes, Cord, you guys are so smart. It all fits into these buckets. These are the 6 reasons why gold is at a record high. So if we want to ask the question, will gold continue to rise to a record high? Then you have to think, number 1, is the U.S. government going to be shut down? We'll know that by Wednesday. And we already laid out, I showed you how it moved in the last government shutdown. If a shutdown is avoided, yes, gold will definitely pull back. If a shutdown happens, you're going to expect new record highs in gold. What about yields, the Fed cut cycle? Well, we already know that the Fed is going to cut interest rates twice this year, maybe one more this next year. That's already what's baked in. When it comes to trading and when it comes to whether or not gold can move to a fresh record high, it's not about what we know already or what we think already. It's about where the surprise is. So the surprise would be if the jobs report is so strong that whatever's been priced in is pretty much all we're going to get. If that's the case, gold will definitely pull back. But if the jobs report is weak, it's 50,000 only, and the last month's report is no good revisions, then the market's going to think the Fed is under delivering. They're going to need to be more aggressive. And in that case, gold could push to a fresh record high because the market thinks that the dot plots are not pricing in enough rate cuts. Number 3, geopolitical uncertainty. If Russia continues to fire those drones and whatever they're doing into NATO territory, that is going to be bad for the markets and good for gold. If they start to pull back, we don't get any more of it, and for whatever reason they decide to stand down, that's obviously going to be good for gold. But I don't think any of us listening thinks that Russia is going to stand down. Number 4, US dollar weakness. The dollar is weakening because of bad data, because of Fed cuts, because of government shutdown. That is the most precarious part, the most vulnerable part, because the dollar could rebound at any point because, either we set up a sudden good report from the non-farm payrolls, or the government is not shut down, and the Fed's, not as dovish outlook for rates is validated. Number 5, stagflation and inflation. I mean, those inflation reports are important to watch. So far, even though we all think that tariffs are inflationary, the impact has been a little bit, but not too much. This one that won't change with time. This one is going to take the next inflation report for us to really see whether or not that's the case. And number 6, reserve diversification, central bank buying. If I was a central bank, if you were a central bank, I'm sure you would have a laundry list of reasons not to be overloaded in US dollars, and a laundry list of reasons maybe to continue diversifying in gold or crypto or euros or something else. So I don't think that's going to change anytime soon either. So for most of these reasons, gold could continue to rise, but there's a few in there, which is the government shutdown, US data, dollar weakness, that could have some short-term pullback in gold. So that's what you have to keep an eye out for. Fred says, so the market thinks the jobs numbers may be manipulated. Yeah, I mean, we live in that world now where government overreach is too much in the US. And so, yeah, maybe it's manipulated, but it's the only numbers we have. So it's the only numbers we can react on. Even if the market's strong, the market will be skeptical because Trump fired the last person. Yeah, but as I said, bottom line, these are the only numbers that we can operate on. So that's the only numbers the market's going to be able to react to. All right. So, if you guys are in the US, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to join us for live trading in Boca Raton, Florida. Come hang out with us. It's going to be an amazing event. So much fun. It's going to be, Peter Tuchman. He's on Einstein of Wall Street, one of the most famous Wall Street traders. David Green, myself, Boris. Live trading, lots of really great opportunity. Make sure that, if you're in the US, check that out and join us. It's going to be a really, really fun, exciting event. Lots of valuable information, and I'm excited to meet you all there. Otherwise, fire away with your questions. I'll invite Boris in to say hello, and I'm sure he's primed for the New York Market Open for live trading. Boris, I think you have to share your screen.
On this format, I can't come
I just
in.
added you to the stage. All right.
No, I'm not going to be able to come in.
There you are.
Yeah, but you're coming off the. I was going to let you finish, then I was going to come on. Okay.
Okay. Here you can see both of us here. All right. Wonderful. This is a live event in Florida, Andy. Yes. All right. Boris, there
Yes.
seems to be no more questions for me, so
Okay.
I will see you guys all as the week progresses. If we have NFPs on Friday, we'll trade it. If not, we'll see what happens. If not, it could be a choppy market anyway. One way or the other, it's going to be a very exciting market this week. I hope. I love volatility. So, hopefully I've done a good job preparing you. Otherwise, you're in good hands with Boris.
Okay, guys, awesome. Let me start to share my screen. Hold on a second. I have some really cool news for you guys. Guess what? Hold on, let me change my screen. Okay. Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? We have wealth charts ready with the dots indicator. And I'm going to trade wealth charts with you guys today to show you how the dots indicator now is totally functional on both of them, both on wealth charts and on TradingView, which is really, really cool. And wealth charts, it's going to make it a lot easier because we're literally going to be able to trade all of my accounts via just one single screen interface, right? I'm going to show you everything I'm doing. A lot of people have asked me to write down all the rules. I'm going to show you all the rules. Everybody who's got the, I'm preparing like a whole PowerPoint presentation on all of the various setups of dots and everything else. It should be ready hopefully tomorrow, maybe the latest by Wednesday. So I should have that for you guys as well. So huge amount of stuff just coming down. And of course, the single most important thing that's coming up before even Boca is the Wealth Charts Summit. So that is totally free. And that is virtual. So you can connect to it from anywhere in the world. So everybody who's watching me now, please click this link that I just put up here on the Wealth Charts Summit, because that will give you the entry into a whole week's worth of trading on wealth charts with lots and lots of different traders telling you stock options, stocks, options, futures, Forex strategies, you name it. And I'll be talking a lot about prop, obviously, and what we're doing in prop. So please be sure. If you haven't registered yet, please do so now. It's the only thing I ask you to do, okay? And of course, as always, we're hoping really that everybody comes is able to join us in Boca. That's going to be a really awesome event. But that's going to be coming up a little bit later in the month. This one is coming up literally next week. So please be sure to join us. Now, good morning. How's everybody doing? Are you guys having a good day so far? I am. I just started working the wealth charts accounts. Actually, all of the wealth charts accounts are now funded accounts. So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 funded accounts. What we're going to do today is I'm going to just simply trade micros with you on the funded accounts, just one micro, in the style that I showed you for the last couple of days in on TradingView. And the game plan is going to be very, very simple. Good morning. We're feeling better? Yes, I'm definitely feeling a lot better. Thank you. I think I sound better, right? I slept it off this weekend, so I definitely feel better. So the accounts that we passed on Friday, already all funded. Like I said, I got 7 accounts over here. The very cool thing about wealth charts is I can literally switch from accounts from one single interface. I can place all of my trades at one single interface. It makes it super, super easy for us to do everything. It is 9:30, so we're waiting patiently, kind of for trades to shake themselves out. Right now, gold is modestly bid. It's modestly positive bid. 8 is over the 100. NASDAQ is also just very, very modestly bid, but clearly much more negative than gold. Although we do have this white dot in a positive trend with 5-10 seconds left, and if the white dot stays, we're going to go long the contract. Oops, and we went long here. Okay, so where's our position? We are long 69. And the close over here was 67. So we basically have to make it. Watch how cool this is. I think, it doesn't matter. I think I just got swept anyways. One of the things that's really, really cool, by the way, guys, I wanted to tell you, wealth charts has really improved its execution. So the flow now is so much better. It totally, blows up through the flow. So I think my 11 account just got executed properly. You can actually see it over here. You see this? I got long over here, and we got totally taken out over here on the account. So kind of show you what I'm doing as far as my layout, and I'm happy to export this out, and you guys can import it. Basically, my execution, my trading panel is to my left. I have the NASDAQ chart and the gold chart in, by the way, possible trade in gold in the majors, the E-minis as my signal. And then I actually execute on the micros. The chart over here is set up on the micros. So I'm actually going to, in this particular account, I had the 11 account in. Let me see the 11 account. Let me see what's in there. Yeah, here's the 11 account. I'm in the 11 account. I have a gold set up in 24 seconds. We're going to go over here to just change this to gold. I'm going to show you this GCZ. Set ourselves up in gold. And I'm going to put my strategy set up as gold instead of NASDAQ. That's going to give me the correct stops and targets. And now I'm going to go long. While I'm talking, it's too late already. Jesus. Okay, I'm long the gold position over here. The close was 53.6, so I'm at 53.3. So I'm actually in good position here, right? Where's my position? Let me see. Oh, I know why. Because I'm in the 11. Oh, what happened here? Which account am I in? No, this is what I need. Sorry. I'm over here. Here it is. I actually entered and I got done. Sorry. I have so many things over here that I got a little bit confused. So this is my entry on the micros, and that got done on the gold position. So if I go over here on the 11, you can see this account got done very, very fast. Just fast markets. So they'll get done. Also, here's what else is happening right now that we can do again. We have a double Christmas tree setup. Also, a nice clean continuity setup. Yes. So Nico, the cool thing is that I'm taking all my cues from the mini, and because I'm looking on the mini, but I'm executing on the micro, I can follow the trade by putting the mini into a tab in what do you call it, in wealth charts. The way I've set this up is I can look for the signal on the true trade, which is the mini, and I can look at the execution on the micro as it comes up. So like right now, no Christmas tree. If I had two greens, there's basically two really clean setups I want to take. I want to take every white dot in a positive trend, every purple dot in a negative trend, and I want to take double greens and double reds regardless. Those are great continuities. Double greens, double reds mean that there is two consecutive green Christmas tree trades or two consecutive red ones, right over here. You can see me taking it over here. Really, really nice clean trades over here. These are all absolutely highest probability trades, super easy to do, so on and so forth. So like right now, I'm sitting on the golds and the NASDAQs in the E-mini side. This is where I look at for my signals. My execution is going to be on the micros over here right now. Is that clear? Everybody vibing what I'm doing? Back to where we're at. NASDAQ turned negative. Gold's still staying positive. Gold is showing me nothing because gold is showing me purple dots that are higher highs. And the only way I'm gonna sell gold here is if I get a lower purple dot, which I don't have. I took this one last trade in gold here for $1, 53.5 to 54.5, and that obviously got executed. I have a green Christmas tree trade, which means nothing to me because it's the first one. If I have two of them in a row, that's a good trade. NASDAQ is mildly, it's basically neutral. It's turning from slight negative to positive. So I'm just basically waiting, seeing where my next trades are, and rotating between my accounts. And I'm using the same kind of idea of let's get 4 winning trades in a row in one account and rotate to the next one. If I get like 2 winning trades and I have a losing trade, I rotate to the next account. If I have a signal both in gold and in NASDAQ at the same time, double Christmas tree over here, I will rotate. Now, I will never take more than one signal per one account. That's a very, very important factor that I learned in making sure that we can distribute all of our trades. The critical thing, the thing that I've showed everybody last week and continues to show you, and I'll show you in TradingView how all of those accounts in TradingView are absolutely moving towards funding at this point. Like 5 accounts are trying to get funded because I'm distributing all of my trades. The greatest trick here is anytime you have a loss, you move to a new account so the old account does not get further damaged. And that keeps all the accounts protected and then growing in a nice steady fashion. So as we're looking over here, gold is double Christmas tree green with 58 seconds to go. So what I'm going to do is I have my 14 account, which I've been trading gold in already. That's the account I'm going to look how easy it is in charts to do this. Now I'm going to I already have gold as my stop target strategy set up. So all I have to do now is just simply wait for the candle to close and see if this indeed is going to give me the signal. And then I'm going to take the signal. That's going to be $1 target, $4 stop, 10 ticks, 40 ticks. Six, 5, 4, 3 in the 14 account. 2, 1. I'm long this. Let's see what my close is. My close is 56.1, and I'm at 55.8, so I'm at a better entry than I was in this. And we can actually follow this on the MGC account. And no, it's Why is this not showing it to me? 14. Why am I having a hard time with all this? Where's my actual account? I'm in here. Where's my stops and targets? Position. I don't know why it's not showing me the stops. And targets. It looks like I got done in this thing. But for some reason, it's not showing me the entries of other things because I think I'm screwing up some of my. Why is this? Let me try this. Let me just see this. MGCZ. Oh, I'm still in the trade. Am I still in the trade? I guess I'm still in the trade. Okay, now I got done. Sorry. Now I got done. It's weird why it's not showing me. All right, we'll just do it this way. You know what I'll do? I'll just keep it this way. We'll change this tab to GCZ because there's always so million different things in. Okay, so this tab has the so I'll just look at the signals here, and this will show you where the trades are. And this will make it a lot easier. For some reason, why can I not see this? I guess it's this way. Okay, whatever. I will need a tutorial a little bit from my guys at Wealth Charts to just sort of make sure that I can get all of this layout properly done. But as you can see, guys, the point is, it's not the layout; it's the trade ideas. The trade ideas, of course, is what makes the money. And boom, boom, boom. This is all making money for us on the 14 account, which is already, I think, had like 3 or 4 winning trades in a row. So we're going to now rotate to the 18 account and just try to see if we can run this one up. We'll push this over here to the 18 account. I wonder if I wonder if I could do this. I'm just curious. Just bear with me a second here, guys. I wonder if I could do this. If I put this in the middle, right? So, okay. So here we go. Ooh, big volatility move, by the way, in NASDAQ. Look at that big Christmas tree trade. Whenever we get an orange big volatility move, we absolutely have to change our stops and targets to like a 15 target 45 stop in order to make it viable. Global chart settings history on. Yeah, maybe you're right. That's probably what it is. Global chart settings history. And I haven't set up all of the little micro configurations on this stuff. But also, I'm trying to figure out like why it's not showing up. Like like when I hit the stops and targets, why it's not showing me exits over here. Because I probably misconfigured the multi-bracket improperly. Anyways, I'll have all of this cleaned up as far as the functionality. But the idea of being able to trade everything off of one single chart should be super interesting and exciting for you. Those of you guys, how many of you guys have this already? How many of you guys have this chart already? How many of you guys want this chart to be able to trade? So, um, the settings aside, which is a mechanical thing that we'll figure out and fix, no problems. What I really so now I've just rotated myself to the 18 account. Remember, I have like 6 or 7 accounts. We're just trying to get like 44 winning trades per account, and then move on, and move on and move on and move on. That's how we get all the accounts towards payout. This is all payout accounts, not eval accounts. So we don't have to worry about that. The eval accounts, I still have a trading view, and we're going to work on those a little bit as well. But today, I really wanted to just sort of show you that I'm so excited that we have such all the functionality on wealth charts. So literally everything we need to be able to make trade signals is there for us, and we can just rotate through all the accounts as well. I think actually, you know what? I think you probably bracket settings. I think you could. I think you could do this. I wonder if you could do this. All right. I was wondering if you could just do this from this one as well. What's SB? That's simple bracket, multi-bracket. None. Yeah, okay. All right, no signal so far. NASDAQ just popped really hard to the upside off this big vol move. Gold continues to be positive trend, but no signals for us yet. We'd be looking for a white dot buy signal. NASDAQ also looking for something like a white dot buy signal if we can get it. Was this one and done possibility? No, we don't have the one and done because it comes at 10 o'clock. The one and done possibility will be whatever is the trend and whatever is the Christmas tree, the Christmas tree label that is the same as trend. So if this is positive trend at 10 o'clock, we're going to be looking for a green Christmas tree label. And we're going to trade that with a 10-30. So 10-point target, 30-point stop. We'll just do this on a simple bracket, just a clean structure, which will be like 40, 41.20. And that'll be super easy for us to do. You know what I understand is why, I'm trying to figure out why the ladder is on gold instead of NASDAQ. I'm trying to. That's what's going on over here. This is nonsense. Why is this over here? What do I have? Do I have trades over here somewhere? 14? No, I had nothing. Oh, I had some dangling trades. But why is this? Why can't I move the? Sorry, guys. I'm just really a little bit frustrated because I'm trying to. I want the ladder to become. Oh, is it because I know why? Oh, because I'm so stupid. I'm so sorry, guys. Because the ladder is determined by the signal over here. So this would be NQ. Sorry, I was like, why can't I find the ladder? Ladder is over here. It should be. This is the MNQ now. Oh, okay. So this is interesting. NASDAQ is a purple dot, but not quite. It's a higher purple dot, so not a sell signal for us. But gold really kind of losing its steam after all that run. All right, I think I finally figured it out. Sorry, just takes me a second, like everybody else. This controls this, and that's why I wasn't seeing the gold. So now we're just going to look at the gold signals. We have a gold turning possibly sharply negative, NASDAQ staying positive. So far, no signals on either one, and we'll trade them there. Yeah, Kevin says that signaling on the E-mini and taking the trade on the micro is working very well. Yes, because the true signal is always on the E-mini. The real market is the E-mini market. The micro market is not the real market. That's why, this is what makes wealth charts so cool, is that on wealth charts, you could absolutely do this with precision. You could take the micro trades, but signal off the E-minis because everything is all in one single view. That's the whole point I'm trying to make here. Am I on the 1 minute in gold? Yeah, you're right. I am on the 1 minute in gold. You're right. Sorry, that's incorrect. Let me change this. And the E-mini here is on the 1 mini too. That needs to be changed. And now you see all the executions because I finally got the right thing. You can see all the executions working here. Oops, sorry. All right, looking at NQ as our possible signal, nothing there because that's a purple dot off of a high. We don't take those. We're only looking for lower lows. We're looking for NASDAQ here. Looking for gold. Also, no signals just yet. Everything is cleaned up. You know what else? What else I want to do? And I want to turn off all the alerts. If I go in here and I just go alerts off because we don't need them. This helps. It makes it easier for us to see the closing prices of this stuff. Let me see if I can save all of this. You see how different the prices are sometimes from the micro to the mini. The micro is kind of showing us a white dot. The mini isn't, so not really a true trade. Because as I said, the real market is the mini market, not the micro market. That's why it's so good to use the mini as our true signaling structure. So is everybody going to come to the Wealth Chart Summit, guys? Give me a yes, please. I'm trading just a micro contract on all of these funded accounts because, trust me, that is what you want to do when you start out. The whole idea here is for us to grow all of these things nice and slow into this program. Plus, having a micro account, I'll show you later in more advanced coaching situations, helps us repair all of these trades into a positive P&L on almost every single account every single day. The idea here is consistency of profit, which is what we're going to try to aim for the whole time. On the evals, it's I'm trading one mini size, but the evals are different. No signal here. So there's like enormous amount of signals, 7 to 9 o'clock. Like, we could have traded this all day long. By the way, the other bummer is if we don't do NFPs, but I don't think we're going to be able to do a marathon this week because middle of the week is Yom Kippur, so I'm going to be off. And, I really hope that they don't go to shutdown because our only chance to do marathon is going to be on Friday. So hopefully we'll get a chance to do that. Oh, I hope you guys get a chance to come to Boca. It'll be really an amazing thing. Not only Kathy's presentation, but my stuff, but David is amazing. And, he was a NASDAQ, an NYSE market maker and retired at the age of 30. That's how good he was. And now he just simply, trades these accounts, the prop accounts, and I've seen his accounts. They're really, really good. He's going to share his strategies. I actually stole a couple of ideas from him for end of day trades that work really, really well with our system. So it's very much worth coming to attend if you get a chance. I really hope you'll come. Okay, red Christmas tree trade. Nothing here in gold, but we're starting to come down. NASDAQ is holding bid. NASDAQ looks like it kind of wants to go a little higher, so hopefully we get a white dot move here. We'll see. Everything went into slow-mo consolidation. We had a couple of nice trades at the beginning, and I'm sorry, it was just a lot of confusion in trying to set up all the charts. Now we have like all time in the world, of course, no setups. But if we get a good-looking setup, the trade that I want to be doing is going to be in. We already did well in the 14 account. I wanted to go to the 18 account. That's what I want to do. The 18 account is fresh, so we're going to be doing those trades. So I'm going to go to my 18 account. Be sure, by the way, let me put the Apex link in here. Don't forget, Apex link here. This is like tomorrow is their last day for the discount. That's actually, it should be 80% discount. It's not a 50% discount. It should be 80% discount. So be sure to get some Apex accounts. Okay, gold got a white dot over here. You see it? It's a little bit hard to see it, but it's a white dot over here. Minute 22, 18. That's going to be our first trade on the 18 account over here. And that's going to be a gold trade. So we can do it as simple bracket, or I can do it as multi-bracket strategy setup gold. You see that? When it says gold, I think, you know what? I'm going to stay a simple bracket just because for some reason I didn't see those trades on the ladder, and I want to see them on the ladder. So I'm going to go 10, 40, just sort of very, very clean. You guys see everything over here. So it's a 10-40 trade, 44 seconds left. It obviously depends on whether this is going to be a white dot. Looks like the candle is coming off. So I don't have a lot of, we have to wait to see if that actually looks like a rally candle. This 50 level, 3850 is a big, big resist level. You can see that gold is definitely struggling with it. But we're going to take this trade and we're going to make sure we're going to do this MGCZ. December 35. So now you'll see this on the ladder properly. 18, proper setup, 8 seconds left. Let's see if the white dot stays. It's really got to stay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom, we're long. It's a very, very lame trade, but 50.7 is where we're in on the account. This thing closed. Let me see what this thing closed at. Closed 50.7. So I'm at the right stop. Now watch, if I'm hoping, we'll see, maybe not. I was hoping to, that this is going to pop us up, but we'll see. What I was going to show you is just how well the execution on Wells charts has really improved. So let's see if this can rally. I just need to see 51.7 here to get myself done. Boom! Look at that. You see how fast that was? You see how fast that got done? So that account. Now, just to show you, we're going to go to the 18 account, and the first trade got done super easily. But it's not just that the trades get done. It's that they've improved their execution. I spoke to Rob over the weekend, and now the execution is so much faster on every single trade. So it's really, really good. It's going to, a lot of people, I remember, were a little bit frustrated with execution. You're just going to be awesome. White dot on gold. Yes, XLB, I took that white dot on gold. We made money on that, right? Made money on that nicely. So just a good, clean trade. Yes, you see the Christmas tree update in this. For those of you guys that want this wealth charts configuration, want the ability to be able to have my indicator, and you're new to the whole trade game, I'm putting the link in here. That is my coaching link. That's what will give you this wealth charts as well as my trading view and all of the support and coaching that we do. So really worth it. 6 months of full ability to be able to trade with all these great signals. So yeah, I mean, that worked really, really well. We took the white pop nice and hard. We're like into our third account. We already the 14 account, we hit 4 trades in a row. The 18 account, we hit 1 trade in a row. We're just looking for the next trade possibility. What's interesting? Look at this. In this, what's setting up? This is in gold. We have 2 consecutive green Christmas tree trades. That's very, very positive. Also need to be mindful that we're past 10 o'clock. And if I get a green Christmas tree signal, that's going to be our one and done trade that I think a lot of people are going to really like. So let's see if we get that set up today. Maybe we can get 2 of these setups. Obviously, we're not going to take 2 setups in the same account. We'll just simply rotate to the next account. This is the whole point of having multiple accounts so you can distribute your profits and also diversify away your losses. What is a trading DOM? It's called this. This is the depth of market. This is the trading DOM. All right, watching this. So far, the Christmas tree trade is not there yet. $26 left. We'll see. It needs to come all the way up here above for us to create a Christmas tree trade. Okay, 15 seconds. We're in gold. 8 seconds. 10. 2 seconds. Got to be there. Nope, not there. Not there, and we don't take it, and that's fine. Not a setup. We'll see if it comes up on the next one. NAS is kind of turning negative. A red Christmas tree label does us no good. We need to see a green one after 10 o'clock in the fact that we have a positive environment. We're in an uptrend now. 8 is above 20. We're in an uptrend. Everybody sees that. That's what we're doing. That is what we're waiting for. Gold just missed giving us a signal. Maybe it's going to give it on this one. It's a big momentum extend. This 55, 56 is the big resistant gold. So clearly the bulls are trying to bust it through here. As Kathy said, I mean, all systems go towards 4,000. They really want to gun it, but nothing ever goes up in a straight line. Okay. This will be Tuesday. We're coming in on Tuesday, October 21st. So please come. Please come join us. We're super, super excited to have you. Definitely going to hang out. It's a great venue. If anybody knows Boca Marriott is the best place in town center. There's lots of restaurants right around. So it's going to be great. Get to chill, get to trade. And then, ask any questions you guys like, as well as, all the collateral and everything else we're going to have for you to help you really have a rules-based structure for everything that we do. Okay. Oh. Green Christmas tree. Possible momentum move here. Watching this. 59 seconds left. Let's see if we can get the trade going here. Trading the 18 account. 50 seconds left. Let's see if this holds. And so the other thing I was going to say is sometimes, the markets get so active, you get a signal on both NASDAQ and gold at the same time, right? And, unless you kind of have everything pre-configured, I used to say, let's take every single signal we could. I'm actually changing my mind to I think it's better to just take one signal, right? Just focus on whichever one has the strength. Look at this. This is going away for us. Let's see if this can stay. Very important. We're not going to not pull the trigger until the candle closes. It's really got to show me. See how it's taking it away? Boom. That is not a trade. That's unfortunately not a trade. It's hard, tough that that we missed this, because this obviously would have been an easy scalp, because it went, it did continue our way, but we got to stick to our rules. For every time this works, it's not going to work many, many other times. We really need that double label to confirm to us that it's working. But anyways, what I was going to say is it's better to do less than more. There's so many trades, even in a very slow environment like today, where in the last 45 minutes we only had 1 or 2 setups. It's still more than enough. Generally, for example, in the 7 to 9 time frame, or even the 6 o'clock to 9 time frame when I was trading it, there was 5 setups per instrument, legitimate setups per instrument per hour. It means there was 10 setups in an hour. There were so many viable trades that you really are not in a hunt for ideas. That's why it's better not to press it. Let's see what we have the, do you think the shutdown will happen? 50-50. 50-50. Wow. That's really interesting. So the poll today, do you think the shutdown has happened, is completely divided. Totally divided on even stuff. Oops, what happened to my chat? Here's my chat. Okay. So 10-10. We'll stay patient here. We're looking for a couple of things. Can we get a white dot trade? Can we get a green Christmas tree, which would be in alignment with our one and done? Remember, our one and done trades are really cool, and I want to. This week, I won't be able to do much of them. Because I wanted to do them also end of the they're great from 10 o'clock onward or 1500 hours, 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. That is a great trade for people who I don't want to do too many scalps. I just want to do one large size hit it and quit it. And those trades were like, 9 out of 10 as far as probability when I looked at them on a very long-term basis. So they're super, super valuable to resolve. Now, this is only for NASDAQ, not for gold. Because remember, NASDAQ is what's trading real market time. The stock market is what everybody's trading 9:30 to 1400. So you have these very natural flows. Gold is a 24-hour day market because much more international market. So you can't apply those rules to gold. But when it comes to the NASDAQ, after 10 o'clock, that Christmas tree trade is a really good one. This is really extending. This is a tough trade. I've been hunting this trade for the last $4 worth of upward movement, and I just simply have not been able to get the signal while it continues to go up. So this is going to be me taking the signal pretty much at the top, but we're going to stick to our process because that's what gets it done. What's the cutoff for one and done? The cutoff for one and done is probably like 11:15, 11:30, right? And the cutoff for one and done in the 1500 hours would be around 15:45, I think. All right, 6-7 seconds left. This clearly is a now 3, 2, 1, boom. I'm long. Where's my position? I'm in at 59. What's the close on this? 59.5. I'm in at 59.6. So what I want to do is just drop it to 65 to make sure that I'm correct with my alignment, and then we'll see if we can just survive the retrace and see if it can get it done. And if we don't, you know that this was just simply a matter of just missing the signals, right? We just every strategy is always going to be sometimes a matter of inches. This gave us 3 possible signals, and they all just disappeared in the last second. So we stuck to not to waiting for the signal to occur. And of course, the signal printed pretty much at like the peak move here, so we could easily get retraced out on this move. And if we do, we do. But we're going to stick to our process because even though we knew that this was going to be a much more difficult, problematic trade, in the long run, it doesn't matter. Like I said, we want to take these setups because if we start inventing and reinventing the rules, the next time, the next 5 times, the next 6 times, it's not going to work for us. So here we are. Unfortunately, I think we're going to be on a stop down on this one. 59, the stop is going to be right here, and we're going to get close to our stop. Our stop is right here. Because it's just, it just simply, this was the final burst of the move. So it's clear that it was going to be retraced out. Yeah, I think we can get clipped. All right, so we're clipped on this, I think, right? Yeah, we are. It is what it is. Doesn't matter because now we just simply go to the next account, right? As I said, we don't let any account get majorly damaged. So now we'll go to the 19 account and see if there's any opportunities here, what the next opportunities are, and we'll trade that. And then we'll come back to the 18 account a little bit later, repair that trade. But for now, we're just going to simply change focus so that we can protect our capital. So we're going to go to 19 account and trade that one. All right, still very quiet. Still no real signals here in any of the major plays. Really good, really good. I'm glad you did really well, Kevin. Yeah, I was. I've done really well a little bit earlier. Just right now, it seems like the 10 o'clock hour, just everything kind of died out on us. The signals just simply disappeared, and then they started to get late. But that's that's what happens occasionally. I'm just trying to see, what happens. And NASDAQ has not even given us a signal at all for the last 30, 40 minutes. Santiago, did I answer your question? Yes? Excuse me. Still a little bit under the weather. Gold giving a red Christmas tree, not of any interest to us because it's in an uptrend. So we're not really doing anything with it. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. NASDAQ doing nothing. I want to show you also, since I got nothing else going on over here for right now, no signals. I want to show you the eval accounts that I was trading in Tradeovate, right? So you can see, remember, like those were 50,000 just like last week, like how they are growing with me, me trading them. So this is 47. It's almost at 51.5. The 45 is at 51. Okay. Really? Okay. 48 is almost at 58, right? That was at 50,000. 49, same thing to 800. That was at 400 on Friday. I'm just kind of showing you how these things. Oh, come on, guys. It's having a. I think I'm stressing my computer with too many screens. Why is this not working? Really? Okay. Still nothing, no signals here on wall charts. So let me just show you the back end of Tradeovate. I wanted to just kind of give you lots and lots of examples of why, like, you're trading 5 accounts and each one of them is growing positively because not one of them is being, really badly hurt, right? The 50 is at 17. This one needs to go to 800 today. That's my last one to take to 800. All right, so I think putting Tradeovate and well charts together is probably stressing the computer, so I can't do it. But I don't take a purple dot in an uptrend unless it's a lower purple. Like, I wish I could show you an example, but I don't have anything here. I don't have anything here. Everything, these are all rising purples. No, if we get a lower purple, that would be the only time. Just like I do a higher white, but I need a lower purple because the whole idea is it's got to show me some momentum decline. You're saying that reading through Apex docs, you found that news trading was, after all, tradable on PA accounts, but at first not. What does that mean, Peter? Is it tradable? But before it wasn't? Is that what you're trying to say? Oh, double red Christmas tree, like that. That's a NAS, right? We moved over to the 19 account. So we're just going to keep it very, very simple. This is the NQZ. We're going to go to MNQZ. This is the 19 account, and it's a 20, 80 trade. If it stays. So far, it's obviously needs to stay. The first stock not, then the next one says it should be okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think they have any problems with trading news. What they don't want you to do is straddle the news, which is what we did, on the evals. They don't care about the evals, but they won't let you do that on regular accounts, which is fair because that's it's a bullshit strategy. It's a lot of fun, but it's not real trading. No reds. There's very little momentum, right, guys? Like it's 2 steps forward, 1 steps backwards on all of this stuff. So we just simply sit there, wait patiently. Nas has finally shown me a little bit of a white dot on a trade here. So we'll, 19 is ready to set up either way. So we can go long or short. We'll go long if this stays. We'll see how much juice we can get out of this trade. Gold is also showing me a white dot and a positive trend. Again, like I said to you, when we get 2 signals at the same time, let's not get greedy. We're going to choose one or the other and trade it and just, do that. Otherwise, it's going to get too crazy to trade it. I mean, we actually could. Because I actually just realized that if we go down to the 20 account, using this, I can do gold. We can set up simple bracket, and the trades here is 10-20. So this one is I can actually use this execution applet for this and this one for this, and that would be really, really good. So I guess we could do it. Let's do that. Except I need to make sure that I'm on the GC, right? The GC is not showing me a white dot. Now it may be showing me a white dot. Okay, so we'll see how this plays out. Nasdaq is the only one that seems a little bit more solid as a signal. 22 seconds left on that, so we'll see if that can hold. That's a legit trade for us on the 19 account. Ten seconds left. Three, two, one, boom. All right, we're long. Where's our position? We're in at 62.50. The close was 63, so we're at a better place than the close. So let's see if this plays out. Six. No, 64.25. What I think we came at 62.50. Okay, so then we're at a worse place. So then that has to be 68.25. That's where we need to be. Okay, let's see how well this now starts to to execute. Oh, and gold does go up a little bit here, but this is too far away. I missed the gold trade. Trying to can't do both at the same time. So let's see if NAS will do me right. This is 63.50, 850 is my target. It's too bad. I wish we took the gold because that was a super clean trade too. Almost there. Did we get done? Not quite. The 68.75. I think I did get done. Let me see. MNQZ. Wait. I think I did get done because it looks like I did get done. So that was, which account was 19? It's easy enough for us to see. I'm going to go in here and we'll go to the 19 account. And yes, they got done. We got done. We're in that trade. Okay, good. Okay, so the 20 account, unfortunately, could have been also done. We just didn't take the trade. I think what I'm going to try and do, honestly, I wonder if, keeping the DOM here is good, but maybe what we're going to do is I'm going to add both trading panels over here and just trade maximum from that. I'm going to consult with my guy at Wealth Charts for the optimal layout. I'm going to have him design that optimal layout for me, and then we are going to save that, and I'm going to give it to you guys tomorrow. And I think that's going to be the easiest way for us to manage, because the great thing is, of course, we can do it off of one screen, but we need to set it up in the most efficient way possible to get that organized and get that done. So, anyways, we just want to see if we get a Christmas tree trade here. This is the one and done trade in NASDAQ after 10 o'clock. I'd love to see. We can go to the 20 account. And this would be 10-point target. So this would be 40 ticks, 120 ticks. We're just going to see if that materializes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But we'll give it the next couple of minutes to see if it can materialize that. Are you guys enjoying the new execution on Wealth Charts? Is everybody having a good time with that? So, we cleaned up on this one. We could have cleaned up on this one. We just simply, Murphy's rule, right? You sit for an hour, no signals at all, and then you get signals at the same time. So you kind of have to, pick and choose. Kat says she likes the execution much better. Yes, everybody seems to really, really like it. I think that really gives it a massive, massive boost to the platform. So I really suggest you guys go experiment it. Be sure to get Apex accounts, and if you want the platform and you want I'll actually buy you. I'll be able to buy you actually three. I'll buy you three free accounts if you sign up for my coaching. Oh man, you can see. I guess I can't talk too long. What's the question? What are your thoughts on the equity markets with government debt all-time current? I don't have any thoughts. Nobody gives a shit. It's the same political maneuver they do all year long. I think they're going to cave. But we'll see. I'm not. I really don't care. I don't think it. They play these games every couple of years, and it really doesn't matter. But you got to understand, guys. You got to cut through all the bullshit. GDP is almost at 4%. Okay, don't worry about the jobs. Don't worry about anything else. There's money. People are spending it. GDP is at 4%. Earnings are going to go up. That's why the market is going up. Everything else is just total, complete bullshit. I've long ago stopped caring about all of it. So that's my macro point of view on all of this, right? I don't think they're going to get it too idiotic, and I think Schumer is going to cave to Trump like he always does. So that's sort of like my view on all of it. But I could be wrong. I don't know if you guys saw Atlanta GDP was like at 3.9, really, really hot. People are still spending money. You look at this. NAS is kind of. I see what's happening now. NAS is really, really having a hard time around this 2,500 now. Now look at this. Now it's not like we get a one and done here, but we do have. Maybe we have to see. So I'm going to go on my 20 count. A double Christmas tree red, right? 2 reds in a row. We go. Now this one is just simply a 520 trade. So it's a 20 tick, 80 tick stop kind of a thing. Nothing complicated. If I get it. If I get it. On a 5, got still about a minute on that signal. But that's kind of interesting. That's, they ran it to the 2,500. Now they can't get it past. Does that mean they're gonna start unwinding the move? That'll be interesting to see. 48 seconds left. Really great to see the Christmas tree labels on well charts. Makes life so much easier in terms of trying to to see the signals. If you didn't want to scalp forever and you just wanted to sniper hit it for size, you could do a lot worse than just trading the double Christmas tree signals. Double Christmas tree signals is when you get 2 of the same kind, either reds or greens, without anything interrupting in between, no other labels in between them. That is a super high probability bet. 6, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sell. Jesus, I almost hit buy. Am I in the trade? What's my position? All right, where's my position? I'm in at 51 and targeting 46. And what was the close on this? I can't see. I can't see it. Close was 50. So I got a little bit of a better fill. All right, let's see if, it's obviously going to have a little bit of a retrace, but let's see if we get the, continuity. So we're looking for 46 as our target. I'm actually curious, does this show this over here? If I put it on the MNQZ, on the 20 account, 47, right over here, we're at 46.50. Just ran down and came back down. Okay, that's fine. Let's see if they can bring it down to us. And we're almost there. And we're done. See how fast that gets done now? I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. All right. So 50 account gets a little bit of money. Everybody gets a little bit of money. We're good to go. I don't have we don't have the one and done, but we had that nice double Christmas tree. As I said, if you want to do just nothing, you could just focus on the double Christmas trees, and not do the white dots, purple dots. If you just don't want to get so obsessed with trading, those are great trades, and we can do a lot. I'm responsible how it works. You're saying I'm showing a sense of control, which I never usually do. It's probably true. It's only because I'm on display with you guys. In private, I'm always going to be absolutely crazy. No, it's actually been very good. The most important thing, I just cannot tell you guys how you see how I'm rotating accounts, and you see what that does is every single account gets bigger. Maybe only one account here got a little bit badly hurt. And badly hurt, I mean a couple of like it's four micro contracts, and I'm going to repair it. And when I come back, when I rotate back through the accounts, and when I have a good setup, I'll be able to repair that account. That is how all those 5 accounts in my evals today in TradingView are all net positive, and they're going to grow even further. So the most important thing is just literally the most important thing is to leave the account the moment you hit a stop, and the second most important thing is to trade small. If you can just remember those 2 things, your chance of success in getting paid out in prop trading, which is 1 out of 1,000 chance for a regular trader. For a regular trader, it's a 1 out of 1,000 chance. Your chance becomes 1 out of 2. Really, really huge. Really huge. It's a difference between winning and losing with the indicator. So with that, I'm going to leave you guys alone. Please sign up for everybody is okay. Sign up for Wealth Charts. Let me put this up here. The free Wealth Charts 360 next week. Okay, please, please, please sign up for that, and please join us in Boca if you can. I'd love to see you there. It would be awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, I'd love to see you there. Oh, I see people are signing up. Really good, really, really good. Cool, 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 cool. Come on, let's have some fun. I will see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Do you only have a profit target of 10 points in this last trade? Yeah, I do. We have other different profit targets for all the different ideas, but that's that's for advanced coaching. I'm just keeping it simple in live trading. Okay, are we cool? Everybody loves the new Wealth Charts Christmas tree setups. We'll trade those. We'll trade tomorrow. Maybe we'll do a little bit of trade of 8 just to give you a little bit of a change of pace. And everybody hope that that they don't shut down on Friday, so we can do marathon trading, which I'm really looking forward to. And I'm going to set this up. We released the Christmas tree today, so this is my first time trying to manage 2 charts at the same time in a proper layout. I'm going to try and figure out how we can do this optimally with my guys at Wealth Charts, and then I'll come back to you tomorrow and I'll show you exactly the best possible setups that I want. Okay? All right, guys. Everybody have a wonderful day. Am I doing the same size for medium platform with ratio 1-4? Yes, 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 yes. That's why you don't lose 3 times, my friend Alan. Yes, obviously that's for eval. That's for eval. Yes, that's for eval. That's not going to be for funded. For funded, it's going to be much smaller. This is for eval. Yeah, because who gives a shit? You have five eval accounts. If you burn 2 eval accounts and you pass 3, you are way ahead of 99.9% of the people. That's my point. My point is that's how we get it done. You can't avoid burning accounts, but what's the really, really magic is actually getting paid out on the accounts that win, right? You got to lose some to win some, right? That's how you got to look at it. Am I off on Thursday? Yes. I'm going to be off on Yom Kippur, guys. You're not going to see me on Thursday. Yes. I'm going to go repent for my sins, of which there are multiple. Okay. Everybody have a wonderful day. Thank you again so much. Really, really great. I will see everybody tomorrow, 9 o'clock. Rock and roll. All right. Everybody take care. Bye-bye.